Welcome to the Protagonist Pub. My name is Tammy, and this is where characters gather. This video is a day late. Life intervened. That's okay. Sunday morning, Kahlua was out playing with her sisters in the backyard and somehow managed to twist her ankle, and she wouldn't put any weight on it, so she spent all day yesterday curled up into mom. She's fine. It's not broken or anything. It's sore. She still doesn't want to put a lot of weight on it, but she's better. So she got indulged by her mama yesterday, and I'm okay with that. So if you're new here, welcome. The dogs usually make an appearance. The bird is out this morning as well, so there'll be some background noise, and David's working from home, so it's a full house. It's also trash day, so Fireball will undoubtedly yell if they try to steal her trash while I'm filming. Okay, housekeeping out of the way. It was a better reading week. I actually managed to read more than one book last week. So, there is one DNF. It is The Winter Widow by... Her name always escapes me. It's right here on the photo. This was a Kindle Unlimited read. It was supposed to be a cozy. It was set in winter in Kansas. Good setting for a winter story. I read well over half of this book. I should have DNF'd it well before that point. First off, not a cozy mystery. It is not a police procedural. It is just not good. I'm sorry to say this, but it's just not good. The writing style is very direct. And the main character is completely unlikable. So the backstory is two people meet, they fall in love, they both happen to be police officers, and she gives up her job in the San Francisco Police Department to move to Kansas with her now husband, who is the sheriff of the town, or the police chief of the town. Book opens up. He's murdered in chapter 1. That was my first clue that I should have DNF'd the book, because we all know I cannot handle that in a mystery. And it just went progressively downhill from there. Just progressively. The main character is cold, incompetent, bad at her job, and should never be investigating her husband's murder. And yet somehow that's what happens. There is an attempted sexual assault because she's stupid. I finally gave up after, she finds yet another dead body. She clearly and knowingly in the book violates the law to search for clues. I just couldn't. It was bad. This is a whole series. Don't ask me how this is a whole series, because it's bad. It's bad. Avoid it. So, on to the good. Let's do the Kindle reads first. There were 2 of them. They were both cozies. They were both on Kindle Unlimited. And having senior moments apparently this morning, because I cannot remember anything. The first one, and I of course removed them from my Kindle already. I'll put a picture right here. I know it's by Marcy, Blesy. And this is a almost 40-year-old woman who goes to Arizona to take care of her parents and the retirement community when her dad is going in for knee surgery. And this was a very quick, fast, charming read. Good parental interaction. There's a budding romance. Philip is going to sleep under the Christmas tree. I guess she's my Christmas present. And there is a murder, and she finds the dead body. This was just charming, and it was a fast and easy read. I will continue this series. It takes place in Tucson, Arizona. My parents live in Arizona as well. They live in a retirement community. There were so many things in this book I could relate to. This was just a beautifully charming, joyful read for me. And the second book I read on Kindle Unlimited this week was also a cozy mystery. This one was set in Michigan. It was The Murder of Mr. Malone by Hope Callaghan. This is also a series. In this case, our sleuths are mature adults. I would say in their late 50s, mid 60s at max. And the protagonist is bored. Her husband has died. He's been dead about a year. She's foundering. She doesn't know what to do with herself. And her friends are all trying to figure out what's wrong. So they make a garden ladies club and decide to assist the shut-ins in their community. It's a small little town in Michigan. And it's all good. So she's driving home from the meeting and she notices police activity at the closed elementary school. And she stops because she's, a nosy Parker. Couldn't help herself. And she sees a white sheet and what she thinks is a body underneath. And it goes from there. And this was just delightful. It truly was. I will continue this series. And even though it is not marketed as such, The Murder of Mr. Malone is definitely a Christian cozy mystery. There is faith throughout this book. It is not intrusive. I'm going to say it's gentle everyday faith. It's on the max side of gentle everyday faith if there was a scale, but it's gentle everyday faith. And this was just delightful. It was delightful. So if you're looking for a book set in the Midwest or in Michigan in particular, or you like your sleuths on the elderly side, go pick up this series. It's on Kindle Unlimited. It is a win-win situation for everybody. So those were my Kindle reads this week. Didn't read any ARCs. And I do have one library read for the week. That is Divine Rivals by Rebecca Ross. This is the American cover. And I gotta say, the American cover is sad. A much better cover, I'll put it right here, is the Spanish cover. I think it is a much more compelling cover, and it's much, much better for the story than the American cover. So, this is young adult fantasy. Again, another young adult book, and Tammy's reading it. And I will tell you right up front, it is fabulous. It is fabulous. Did not expect that to be the case. We have two main characters. There is Iris and Roman. And there is a war between gods in this world going on. Iris's brother heeds the call of one side. She is distraught. It sends her mother into a downward spiral. She becomes an alcoholic. Iris has to quit school to support her and her mother, and she gets a job at the newspaper. Her and Roman are then in competition for the sole columnist job, and that's how our story opens. And at night, Iris types letters to her brother, who hasn't written since he left home, despite his promise to do so, and she sets them in her wardrobe, and they're gone in the morning. Magic is a very present thing in this world, so she's not overly surprised. She keeps hoping that her brother will write her back, and he never does. And a lot of the story is told in letters, and one day Iris gets a response, and it just says, "I am not Forrest." Forrest is her brother. She's surprised. She begins a correspondence with the person at the opposite end of the wardrobe, and the story takes off from there. This was fabulous. There's some technology in this world. No, not some. There's a lot of technology in this world. They have railroads and cars, and they write on typewriters, and they have electricity, so it's not a medieval setting. And I love the use of letters. I love the use of getting to know someone through correspondence. It was just beautifully written, and there was, for me, I was blown away by the amount of depth these young adult characters had, and the level of maturity in these young adult characters. It was phenomenal. And given the fact that I've read some very immature adult characters in the last couple of months, this was just so impressive. And it ends on a cliffhanger. I'm eagerly looking forward to book 2. It was phenomenal. It really was. I did not expect it to be phenomenal. I'm probably going to pick up another book by her while I wait for book 2. It was just joyful. It wasn't a joyful story, but it was joyful in the fact that it was mature. So that is what I read last week. I am currently reading The Pocket Pair on my Kindle by Emma St. Clair. This is book 3 in the Love and She Kick Texas series. I am about halfway, 60% through. It's an Emma St. Clair. It's joyful, it's funny, it's sweet, it's amusing. Just like how I like my rom-coms, so I'm good with that. And then I think I'm going to pick up The Last Uncharted Sky, which is in the case behind me, and get that knocked out. And this is all assuming, of course, that I don't pick up my Xbox controller and play Baldur's Gate 3 and lose track of time again. And I also have stitching to do. There's too many good things going on right now. So, what did you read last week? Leave a comment down below, like and subscribe, and I will see you here next time at the Protagonist Pub.